friends, welcome of you. Uh, Today's Golden Charcha is now is going to start. Today's topic is annual filing under the MC practical approach. Today special address by C. Abhishek Sonthalia ji and today's speaker C. Mohan Goenka ji. Key features of today's filing AOC-4 and MGT-7 7A on time to avoid penalties. Keep financial reports and directors KYC update year round the smooth filing. Today's golden charcha is Vishnu ji for starting this golden charcha and requesting Abhishek Shantolia ji for today's special address. Abhishek Shantolia ji.
Thank you, Chinkulalji, for the brief start. A very warm, good evening to all of you. It is indeed a privilege to join you all for today's Golden Charcha, a commendable initiative of EIRC, especially our chairman Vishnu Kumar Tulsian and the entire team of EIRC. So that continues, like this Golden Charcha continues to bring meaningful, concise, and high impact learning sessions to all our professional community. Conducting such 1 hour virtual sessions, I believe it reflects the commitment of EIRC towards the continuous professional development. My, again, compliments to the chairman and the entire team for this remarkable effort. Now, today's topic, annual filing under MCA, practical approach. It is very extremely relevant for all practicing and corporate professionals. Although we think, annual filings may appear very routine, but the evolving MCA framework, the version 3 enhancement, and increasing governance expectations have made compliance far more dynamic and detailed oriented. So we need precision planning, documentation discipline, and also portal knowledge are now integral to ensuring the correct and timely filings. Today, we are fortunate to have with us an eminent expert in this domain, CS Mohan Goenka. He's a respected professional known for his clarity of thought and practical interpretation of corporate laws. His experience and ability to simplify the complex compliances issues have benefited numerous corporates and professionals over the years. I think in today's sessions, I'm sure he will guide us through the practical nuances of the annual filing, from aligning statutory records to managing company-related compliances, integrities in handling the portal issues, all with a real-world experience and driven perspective. Once again, on behalf of EIRC and all participants here, extend a warm welcome to CS Mohan Goenka. Good evening, sir. We really look forward for an enriching and very high and practical session ahead. Over to you, sir. Over to Chinkulalji for taking the session forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek ji, for your special address. Today's speaker is Mr. Mohan Goenka ji. He is a practicing company secretary since 3 decades in the name of MR and Associate Kolkata. He is a qualified MCOM, FCA, CFA, PGD, and insolvency professional. He is higher goal-oriented person with his vision, mission, powers in this current dynamic business environment and competition in the corporate era with his team of experts. He is a dynamic trainer to member of ICAI, ICSI, MCA officers, other statutory bodies. He is a consultant on corporate laws, secretarial service, and legal advisor on the company law, operation and mismanagement, and other respective law. He deals with the various aspects of corporate laws, liquidation, and winding up of the company's merger, demerger, amalgamation, takeover, and acquisition, corporate restructuring, corporate insolvency resolution process. He appears represent in The case before the Honorable NCLAT, RD, ROC, Stock Exchange, etc. As such, he shared his precious knowledge as honorary guest speaker in various seminars, workshops arranged by various professional bodies, circles, study circles, EIRC, ICAI, etc. So I requesting Mohan Goenka ji to give his brief knowledge and practical aspects about the ROC filings. Please, Goenka ji, start your session.
Thank
Hand over
you.
to Goenka ji.
Thank you, Chimpulal ji. Thank you to Abhishek Sonthalia ji. And thanks to EIRC Chairman Vishnu Tulsian ji for providing me today the opportunity to share the practical aspects regarding the annual filing. As we know that last date is approaching nearby, and still we have to fight with the MCA. MCA is not running smoothly, and continuously we are having various issues which are coming us every day or the other day. Amendment of definition has come. Small company definition has been amended from 4 crore 40 crore to 10 crore 100 crore on 1st December. Now many queries are coming regarding the definition, that why, whether the company will fall under this category or 4 crore 40 crore, whether our suppose our capital is 5 crore and turnover is 20 crore, then already as per the old definition we were out of the definition of the small company. Now, suppose our capital is 5 crore and turnover is 50 crore. Then, as per the new definition, we are being covered here. As per the new definitions, we are under the ambit of the new definition, but that is applicable from 1st December. It is not retrospective, it is prospective. Means this will be applicable from 1st December onward only. So, therefore, for the balance sheet which are prepared for 31st March 2025, wherever that in that balance sheet, the wherever in that balance 31st March 2025 is there, then in that case, the if the company is small company, then the MGT-7A is required. If the company is a normal company, big company, then as per the 31st March 2025 calculation we have to go. It is not that we will do the calculation as for 1st December. No. For a filing of MGT-7A, if you are under the ambit of the small company definition, as on 31st March 2025, we have prepared your balance sheet on 31st March 2025. As on that date, whatever will be your paid up capital turnover, we have to go as per that only. First thing. Second thing, in director report, I will share you the director report which we are now filing. Since what happened earlier, whatever the data report we are preparing, we were submitting the data report. Let me open my data report, give me 1 minute time. I will open my data report. Now I will share the screen. Yes, I will share the screen data report. I think this is visible in the screen. Somebody can confirm me whether it is visible.
Yes, sir. This is visible,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it is.
Visible. Okay. Because I am unable to see the thing na, whether it is visible or not. So you can see the data report. Why I am showing you this data report? Because what happened? If you remember, then earlier, whenever we were doing the filing, then we were preparing a standard format. There we are having around 15-20 points in the data report. Now what happened? This time the form which have they have launched, I will also share you after this the form. First we'll see the data report, because here we have made a data report of around 35 points. So now basically speaking, there are three type of data report. We can have this particular format having 35 points. Here we have also covered the point which has been again taken in the forms which has been launched post 14 July 2025 by the MCA V3 system. So somebody can ask whether is there any changes in the data report? No, there is no change in data report. But many forms in the many new things has been incorporated. Many new things has been added in the forms. Earlier that were being not asked by the MCA. Nowadays what happened? MCA this time what we have to do? We have to prepare three type of form. Till 31st March 2024, what we were doing? We are preparing only AOC-4. There we are attaching the data report. And there was no uniformity in the data report. Somebody was taking 20 points, somebody was taking 5 point, 10 point. Now what happened? Now this time the MCA has itself come out with the format of the data report in the forms itself. And in forms maximum point they've covered. They've in the other way we can say that they have covered a maximum point. If you remember, if you remember 11th February 2022, on 11th February 2022 what happened? On 11th February 2022,
हाँ भैया
नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं, ठीक है, मैं स्क्रीन देख रहा हूँ, मेरा स्क्रीन कहाँ गया? Yes, it is coming on the screen na. On 11th February 2022 partnership amendment came in LLP. There were drastic amendment on 11th February 2022. If you remember correctly, in LLP3 whatever the form we were submitting on that day, what happened on LLP3? The many new points were added. So whatever the forms we were filing LLP3, we changed the format accordingly, and we modified our LLP3 agreement also. Earlier we were preparing LLP3 of having only 15-20 points. But when the LLP3 new form was given on 11th February 2022, then after that we drastically revised our LLP3 agreement also. Similarly, in data report also we have added many new points. Like we can say that fraud 143 section. Now fraud is applicable in all the section. Whatever the fraud section is there, that is applicable in each and every case. Now here many things has been made mandatory, like pause, like maternity benefit. So we cannot avoid those things. Those are already in the act since last 10 years. Sorry, last 11 years. From 1st April 2024, fraud is already there in the system. But that has been made mandatory. Why? Now the government is asking that that particular asterisk column has been given in the form. So we will cover here many of the points like state of the company affairs. Now this is the mandatory point in the form. Here we have to give state of the company affairs mandatorily by every company, whether company is doing any business, not business, then that has to be given. Further, going ahead, change in nature of the business, that also is a mandatory point. Material changes in commitment affecting the financial position of the company. So many of the points which we have covered here, we have taken here, those are now mandatory point in the board report form. So what we have to do? We have to change our board report accordingly. Whatever the board report you are preparing or already you have filed, then it is okay. Otherwise, I will suggest that at least try to incorporate the maximum point as given in the forms. It should be in parity with the forms. Because here, what is happening? You are giving not applicable. Okay, fraud is not applicable. That is obvious. But fraud is applicable. You can't say. Fraud is applicable in each and every company, whether company is a public company, private company, maternity benefit, cost, compliance. Many things are applicable in each and every company. Therefore, we can't say that this is not applicable, that is not applicable. The detail of significant and material order passed by the regulator, that is applicable in each and every company. Detail and status of the application made or proceedings pending under the insolvency. If insolvency has come, then that is applicable. Like here we have mentioned, there are no proceedings under the insolvency at the end of the financial year. Now detail of subsidiary joint venture company. If anything is there, then you have to give. Otherwise, you will mention that the company does not have any subsidiary in that way. We can't say not applicable. Section is applicable. Subsidiary joint venture associate company is applicable in each and every case. But there we have to mention accordingly that the company does not have any subsidiary. Any we cannot give. For performance of any financial position of each of the company, then deposits we have mentioned, no, company has not accepted any deposit during the year under review. Then CSR, then auditor, then after that detail in respect of the fraud. Yeah, I am coming to this point. Here we have also mentioned the statutory auditor has not reported any incident of fraud. You cannot say not applicable. It is applicable to company, but the company doesn't have any fraud, therefore no fraud has been reported by the statutory of the company. In this way we have to mention the thing. Like comment on the auditor report. If you have comment qualification, then that has to be mentioned. Otherwise, not. Here we mentioned there are no qualification, reservation, or adverse remark. Then extract of the annual return. This is not applicable. Then we'll mention accordingly. This web link is not required to be maintained as per this circular. Then conservation of energy technology objection, this has to be given only in case of the manufacturing company. Therefore, that thing has been mentioned. There are no foreign transactions. There has been no change in the constitution of the board. In case of the director, we have to mention, like many companies, if you see, their additional director is still going on. Why? You have not cleared it. You have appointed the additional director, but you are not aware of that thing. You have done that thing before, we can say 2 year back, 3 year back, 5 year back, 10 years back, and still it is showing in the additional director. And nowadays, what is happening? The notices are coming from the MCA. The additional director is there. Why additional director should be vacated at the end of the AGM? Why that has been not done? How the company is running with one additional director, one director? So those things are now the matters which are the more concerned, and that has to be looked after. Now board meeting date has to be given properly. Here also again issues are coming. Board meeting date, whatever the board meeting date, like suppose we have given here 4 date. Today I was seeing one adjudication order. There the company is having 21 meetings, but in the annual return they have not given 21 meeting dates. There they have given only 18 company meeting date. Why? Why 3 meeting date has been missed? So in that way we have to check up that thing. Everything should be in parity. Whatever the details you are giving in the diet report, that should be in parity with the MGT-7 annual return, MGT-7 whatever applicable. Then committee meeting, if applicable, then we'll give. Now risk management, this is a mandatory point. After this, we'll see the diet report also, the form of the diet report, because there is a format of diet report, and that form we have to fill up. So what we have to do? We have to take a word file from the company. You have to take the signed copy. Now one more question is coming. If we are submitting the diet report, we are filling each and every point. Whether we are required to attach the scan copy? Yes. We have to attach the copy of the scan copy of the diet report. It is not that we cannot attach the scan copy and straight away we tell that only we have filled the report. Somebody has come, they are telling that we have already filled the all the portions of the auditor report, all the portions of diet report. After that we are filed without attaching anything. But that is again one of the violation. Because diet report, at least you have to attach. How you'll know whether auditing has been done or not? Who has signed the audit report? Who has signed the auditor's report? Chartered accountant, statutory auditor has signed the audit report. So therefore, mandatory we have to also attach that thing. It is not that everything has to be written there. You have to attach this thing, but it is obviously it is a common sense thing that we have to attach the copy of the diet report in the diet report form and copy of the auditor report in the auditor report form, because there are 3 forms minimum we have to file. Each and every company has to file minimum 3 forms. One form for the financial statement, the 2 form for the one for the auditor report, one form for the director report. In this way, we have to fill up the 3 forms. We have to file the 3 forms. And beside that, other 4 forms are also there. What are the other 4 forms? Like AOC-2, we can say. AOC-2 is there. AOC-1 is there, if applicable to the company. Then CFS is there. CFS is applicable, then we have to file the CFS. AOC-1, AOC-2, CFS. If any other forms are applicable, then we have to also file those forms. Otherwise, not. Then CSR forms is there. CSR2 form is there. In this way, like there are other 4 forms, 4 or 5 forms, and on the applicability, we have to file those forms. Otherwise, that is not required to file. And particular loan guarantee or investment, we'll go a detailed discussion when we will discuss the AOC-4 form. They will discuss that why 186 is required, because now what is happening? Government is insisting that 186 compliance has to be done properly. 186 is applicable in each type of company, whether company is a public company, private company, listed company, unlisted company. In each type of company, this particular 186 is applicable. And this particular section is also very dangerous section. There is no bail and no compounding can be done in this particular section. And each and every company where the threshold limit has crossed, then that company has to comply the provision of the section, means they have to file at least MGT-14 and take the permissions if the limit is going beyond the prescribed limit as given in the particular section, like 60% of the paid up capital or reserve or 100% of the reserve. If any threshold limit is crossed, like yesterday we were filing on annual return, there the company was having only 5 lakh paid up capital, there was no reserve, and the company has invested in current investment, non-current investment 21 lakh rupees. How that is possible? Simple thing, a small company, but that is applicable. A small company, so there is no exemption for sub 186 section. The company has invested 21 lakhs since last 5 years, and the company paid up capital is only 5 lakh rupees. How the company can go for that? Company has to simply submit the MGT-14, which company is not done. Today, just before start of the session, I got a call from one of my clients. They told me that our index is applicable to us. Ind AS applicable means that is the area of the statutory auditor. Why he has not seen the thing? What is the criteria of Ind AS auditor? In case of Ind AS, 275 crore. If the net on fund net worth of the company is more than 250 crore, then Ind AS applicable. So they have to see the thing. They've already filed the thing. They've already filed one financial year. So these are the things which has to be looked after properly. Otherwise, violations will be now triggered. And once the violation is triggered, then that will be catched through the AI system only. Nowadays, many notices have been received by us. In the past, there many violation has been catched by the AI. Suppose you have filled some figure in AOC-4. Some loan advance has been given 5 crore 35 lakh 40,000. And in your balance sheet, it is 5 lakh 34,000, not 500. It is 700 or 800. Whatever the figure is different. Whatever you have filled in the form, the company has issued the notice from the MCA. I do have the copy. But what is our concern? Whatever the form we are filling, the form should have the correct figure, and that same figure should be there in the financial statement of the company. Otherwise, problems is there. Problem do occur, and we are unable to cope up with the problem in the future because the fines are too huge and problems may occur, and that will be beyond our control. Now, particulars of contract for the related party transaction. Here, many questions are coming. We have given an office on rent to our group companies. Then, what is the fate for that? There, we have to see whether the transaction is at arm length basis, not arm length basis. Suppose you have given a rent free of cost. That is not possible. Now, who will give the free of cost? In that case, that is not on arm length basis. If you have given the office at a rent to other group companies at normal market rate of market rate, then it is okay. But none of the case that is being followed. Na? They are giving 5,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees. Whether if the company will straight away go and take the office on rent, that is not available in 5,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees. So that those type of transaction, if required as per 188, and if we triggered 10% of the turnover of the company. Suppose a company is having a turnover of 5 lakh rupees and the transaction is more than 50,000 rupees, then it will come here because 10% of the materiality of the transaction has to be seen. What is materiality here? Materiality here is 10%. And related party, whether we'll see AS 18 or 188, we'll see AS, we'll see here 188. It is applicability of the 188 because you can see here the last. The information to be mentioned in form ASU2 is not required for your company. ASU2 means whatever the ASU2 details are there, arm length basis, not arm length basis, not arm length basis, the details to be given accordingly. Then disclosure under sexual harassment of workmen of women at workplace. This again, if any woman employee is there, then you have to give that. Otherwise, you are not required to give any details. Data responsibility statement, then secretary standard, disclosure pertaining to cost record. So I will try to cover a little bit fast because we don't have much time. And this is the simple data report format I have shown you. Here again, declaration given by the independent director. If independent director is applicable, then otherwise not. Now again, I will immediately show the form. Now I will share the format of the director report, extract of the board reports, mandatory field. You will see here. I think extract of the board report is open on the screen. If somebody can confirm me. Extract of the audit board report format is open in the screen.
No, sir. It is just the file is showing. PDF, a lot of folder is there.
A lot of folders are there. Therefore, it is not open. Now it is being shown, na? Extract of the board report.
Popping up.
If actually here you can see whatever the period, I marked it in on red. It is highlighted portion. Those are mandatory field. Like name of the company, this will have to be filled up. That is obvious. Then whether company or OPC company. Here, well, you can see one red stick is there. In the form, it is here black, but in actual the form is red stick. So there in red stick, you have to give the mandatory field. Like board meeting name, number of board meeting details you have to give. Then committee meeting, if applicable, then we'll give, otherwise not. Otherwise, we have to put the 0. Then director responsibility statement. Here we are again copy pasting from the same word file of the director report. Therefore, I told you in the beginning, you have to keep a word file of the director report also along with you, so that you can fill up the those data from there. Second thing, state details in respect of fraud. I told you, fraud. Fraud may applicable to each and every company. 143.12. Therefore, you have to give the details. If fraud is not there, we'll mention accordingly. But also, I've shown you same thing we have mentioned in the data report also. Then going ahead, auditor remark. There is no auditor remark. Now coming to 186. 186. If there is no transaction done during the year, then you have to mention no. Whether any loan given is given by the company or security of any other body purchased, there is nothing has been done. Means no transaction has been done. You have to give no. Whether the company falls in the category of 186.11 means exempted category. What is 186.11? That is the exempted category. If you are an infrastructure company, then this particular 186 is not applicable to you. If you are a company of NBFC company, then in two cases this 186 is not applicable. Otherwise, it is applicable in each and every company. Are there any reportable transaction? If any transaction has been done, then you have to give yes, otherwise no. Wherever the threshold also exceeds 60%, then only you have to give the details, otherwise no. In one of our case, the company was having transaction. There were around 20 transactions where they have done the purchase and sale of the share. They have done the investment. They have to give the details. Then SIN number has to be given of all the company, and whatever the details are, the name of the party, name, nature of the transaction. And in case of rate loan also, if rate of interest is not interest has not been done paid on the particular loan, then that is again one violation of section 186 subsection 5. So that interest has to be also provided on the guild security. There is no exemption that we should not give the interest on the loan, we should not charge. That is totally a misconception. We should remove that thing from our mind and always try to, wherever we have taken the loan, whether it is taken from related party, non-related party, we have to provide the interest. If it doesn't provide the interest, that is a violation. And we know this what 180 section is a very dangerous section, non-bailable, non-compoundable. Next, description of the state. When I started my submission regarding the data report, I stated in the beginning, description of the company's state of affair has to be given. Highlight of the company's performance are as enter, revenue from operation is nil, loss of the period has incurred 0 because it is asterisk mark. 11 you can say an asterisk mark is there, and therefore we have highlighted this thing. Now going ahead, details of the material transaction. I told you material transaction, if it is 10% of the turnover, then material transaction will be triggered, otherwise not. 15, then further points CSR not applicable. 17, 18, 19 not applicable. Some of the points are also not asterisk mark. Now one more thing is also there. In case of a small company, many points are not heated. In case of small company, many exemptions are also there. When you will fill the form, then automatically in small company they are not required that you are required to give all the details. That you can avoid this. Like this particular field, detail of significance material order passed by the regulators or called. I told you at the time of submission in that report, this particular field has to be given. This is not mandatory column. There is no asterisk mark here. But in spite of that, also you have to give the details in this particular column. So whenever we'll fill this form, then we'll come to know this thing. This is submission regarding the data report. Then I will open my AOC-4 slides. Beside that, also I will write something regarding the. First, I will submit regarding the audit report also. We will also cover the auditor report side by side. I will show you one of the format of the auditor report, and side by side I will show you how the audit report has to be filled up. So in case of auditor report, also we have to fill everything online. Let me open my auditor report. 1 minute. I am opening my this auditor report. I will share you the auditor report also. Extract of the auditor report. Here I will show you one thing that we have copied. Let me first open the audit report. 1 minute. I will share the same again on the screen. It is visible, I think. Extract of the audit report has come. Here I will open side by side the attachment. We are clicking on the attachment. that I think should open, and it should be visible to you also. Here you can see this is audited opinion. We are giving this opinion. We have audited the balance sheet of this company from this point to this point. Here you can see we have filled up same thing. Here we have filled same thing. We have audited the accounts of the company from this point to this point. So in this way we have to fill up the points. I think both things is visible to you, na? Then basis for the opinion, then emphasis of the matter. Whatever the points are there in the auditor report, that thing we have to select it. We have to take the word file of the auditor report. We have to copy responsibility of the management company and responsibility point. Again, you will see in the auditor report, it is already covered here. Basis of the opinion, then again emphasis of the matter, then other information. Here the same thing will come. Responsibility. Company board report are responsible for the preparation. You can see you have copy pasted this, nothing else. Company board report is responsible for the matters related to section 134.5. Same thing you have copied here. In this way, we have to copy the report. Going ahead, and disclaimer here, the observation was there. Therefore, in this company, observation 3 observation there, that is specific observation there that has been given, and auditor comment based on the remark, and after the director comment is also required. In case auditor comment is there, then director report director comment has to be given. You have seen that thing in the director report. Just now I shown you. Then responsibility of the management. Here again, same thing has been copied. The company responsibility of the management. Here again, you can say responsibility of the management. Board of Directors is responsible for the material stated in 134.5. Same thing has been copied here. So in this way, you have to complete the auditor report. I have shown you the auditor report, director report, and all the points has to be covered, copy pasted from the auditor report itself. You cannot change anything, and it should not be changed. And hard copy has to be also attached. I have shown you the attachment also. You have seen yourself that how the things are attached. Now we will straight away come to your 4 submissions. I will open my first slide, and after that we'll discuss the various points in the
क्या फायदा
भैया अपना अभी तो चल रहा है, अभी कंटिन्यू करो ना।
क्या बोल रहे हैं?
भैया अभी कंटिन्यू करेंगे ना सेशन अभी?
हाँ कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं ना, बस वो AOC-4 दिखा रहे हैं अब।
हाँ ठीक है सर।
Now we are submitting. We have already shown you the director report, auditor report. Now we are sharing the screen of the. देखो तो यहाँ क्यों नहीं रहा है? यहाँ क्यों नहीं रहा? शेयर कर रहा है स्क्रीन, विंडो में जाके तो करें।
क्या चीज खुले हुए आप नीचे? AC-4 का फोल्डर खुला हुआ है, फाइल खुला हुआ कहाँ है अभी तक?
खुला हुआ था
ये तो PDF खुला है ना 2 ठो। कौन सा खोलना है आपको? हाँ तो फिर उसमें जाइए। मेरा PowerPoint।
Now it is visible, I think. My slides. Somebody please confirm me.
विजिबल हो रहा है?
Visible हो रहा है, ठीक है। Now we will start submission regarding the AOC-4. We will straight away go to AOC-4. DR3 KYC already we know the date has gone. We have to pay the fine. We are paying the fine for that. AGM date is already 31st December. What will happen after 31st December? Whether the fine will be 600 rupees, 200 rupees, or it will be total? Yes, it will be total. It is not that we have to pay on 1st January or on 31st December रात को 12:02 के ऊपर में we have to pay 6,100 for AOC-4. सर वो 500-600 रुपया 300 रुपया नहीं चलेगा उस दिन। उस समय अपने को सीधा 6,100 देना पड़ेगा। देखो व्हाट इज आवर टारगेट? अभी मेरे पास 18 दिन बचा है। 18 दिन में मेरे को जितना है सब कंप्लीट कर लेना है। मतलब 600 रुपया का सीधा आपको 6100 रुपया देना पड़ेगा। एंड फाइन विल बी कैलकुलेटेड फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ द AGM. यदि 30 सितंबर का डेट है तो आपका 30 अक्टूबर का रिलैक्सेशन हो गया। तो क्या हुआ कैलकुलेशन? 30 अक्टूबर के बाद के अंदर में आपका 100 रुपया पर डे है। सिंपल सा कैलकुलेशन, यहाँ 2 टाइम 4 टाइम 6 टाइम नहीं है इस केस के अंदर में, यहाँ पर सीधा 100 रुपया पर डे है। तो 30 अक्टूबर के बाद में क्या होगा, 30 नवंबर दिसंबर 60 दिन हो गया, 61 दिन हो गया, 31 दिसंबर का महीना है, तो नवंबर का 30 दिन ले लीजिए, दिसंबर का 31 दिन ले लीजिए, 61 दिन इंटू 100, 6100 रुपया हो गया, सीधा सा कैलकुलेशन है। एनुअल रिटर्न में क्या होगा, 600 रुपये की जगह आपको सीधा 3100 रुपया देना पड़ेगा, एक महीने का डिले। ये हो गया एक सबमिशन। नेक्स्ट, एजीएम एक्सटेंशन कोई मिलेगा, कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। एजीएम एक्सटेंशन नहीं था, अभी जो मिला था हम लोग क्या चीज का एक्सटेंशन था, अभी खाली था फाइलिंग फीस एडिशनल नहीं लगेगी आपकी। एजीएम एक्सटेंशन का कोई कंसेप्ट ही नहीं था अभी तक। नेक्स्ट, की चेंजेज इन AOC-4 फाइलिंग वर्क फ्लो। इसमें क्या क्या चेंजेज हुआ है, ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन दो तरह का सिस्टम है अभी। मैं फटाफट इसको ग्रैब अप करूंगा 10-15 मिनट के अंदर में, कि ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन दो कंसेप्ट है। मैंने पहले क्या बताया आपको, अभी 3 तरह के फॉर्म आ गए। पहले अपने खाली AOC-4 जमा करते थे 31 मार्च 24 तक, अभी हम लोग क्या करना है, 3 फॉर्म बनाना है। AOC-4 बनाना है, AOC-4, फिर अपने को एक एक्सट्रैक्ट ऑफ द ऑडिटर रिपोर्ट, एक्सट्रैक्ट ऑफ द डायरेक्टर रिपोर्ट। फॉर्म कैसे खुलेगा, कहाँ से खुलेगा, वो भी मैं नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में दिखा रहा हूँ आपको। ऑनलाइन फॉर्म बनाना भी ईजी है। एक महीना पहले हम लोग ऑफलाइन पे ज्यादा जोर दे रहे थे, अभी वो नहीं है। अभी नाउ वी हैव टू गो स्ट्रेस ऑन द ऑनलाइन फॉर्म्स ओनली। Why? Because it is more easy to fill up. If the system is fast, there is no hindrance in the internet system, then of online form is suggestible, and that we can fill up within 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the speed the person is working without having any errors. What is the technical tips which is required, which could be followed? Like multiple login already not allowed. We know that we cannot do the multiple login. If we are doing the login and we are filling the online form, then only one login, one person can fill up the form. If any person, other person will enter the same login, then the system will throw him out, and the person already was in the system, he will cannot save the data, and he will lost his all the work whatever he has done for the time he has given for the filling of that particular form. What we should do in case of online forum, one person one login ID should be there. In case of professionals, we can prepare our director our login ID, we can prepare our staff login ID. In that way we can prepare multiple login ID. Can we fill up the form? Yes, we can fill up the form. As a professional, we can fill up the form for multiple number of companies. There is no issue in that case. Many companies, they are having their login ID, they are filling the login ID through the company login ID. Yes, they can do. For that, only for that particular company login ID, company's form can be filled up, not any other persons. Can we have our staff login ID? Yes, in case of professors, they can have our staff login ID. That will be our professional staffs, and those there we can create multiple login ID, 6-7 login ID, and we can go ahead accordingly. DSC validation error is coming. In that case, in case of director DSC validation error, we have to obtain the director's user ID password. You have to log in that user ID password. If the company has forgotten the user ID password, then you have to write a mail to the MCA and forget user ID password you have to give. Then again, new user ID password will be given by the MCA. That may take a day time, but that is the only way out for that. In case of professors, company secretary, chartered accountant, you have to go register your ID through the professional login ID and make a checker consent. Means you will fill up the form, then you check the thing, then you go ahead. You submit the button. In each and every form, there are 3-4 submit button. You have to click on that submit button, then you have to go ahead. In case of online filling of the form, cookies should be deleted, and temporary files wherever are there in the system, those do assembles and those do create the problems also. So those things should be always deleted in the system. Adobe Reader latest version should be there. Suppose any persons whom you are sending the form, after complete preparation of the form, you are sending the form to other login ID. They are using the old version of the Adobe, and you are having the latest version of the Adobe, then mismatch may do come, problem may do occur regarding the signing of the DSC. Therefore, the person who is signing the form, there also the latest version of the Adobe version should be there. Different browser we are trying. Suppose we are filling the form in Chrome, we are downloading in Mozilla and uploading in Edge. So that is the possibility that could be done. Raise ticket and follow up with the MCA. If problems occur, then we are raising the ticket and following with the MCAs. We always prefer online filing, make it fast, part-wise save, continue. In case of limited login and save problems is there, then we can go for offline filings. What is the filing process? We have to go login to MCA login ID. Then in case of MCA login ID, we have to use our business users always and navigate the company filing form, and we'll then choose the AOC-4. This can be seen practically in the next slide. Here you can see my application, then company filing, then we'll go for annual filing. In annual filing, there are 3-4 options. In these 3-4 options, we'll select whatever mode we want to go. If you want to go for online filing, that is given there. In case of offline filing, it is also mentioned here accordingly. In case of online filing, what are the benefit and what are the demerit? These are the benefit and demerit given in the slides. Changes can be done easily. Change in particular part do not affect the other part. Part-wise save and continue. Stop validation errors. Login ID is blocked, yes. If other person will enter in the same login ID, then this login ID may be blocked. In case of online filing, that will take time again for the opening of the login ID. We have to wait for 30 minutes depending on the system congestions. No save if no internet should be there, then only in case of online filing we have to save the thing. Otherwise internet got disconnected, then the save will not take place, and whatever the time you have spent in filling the form, you lose that thing. Zero to be filled in everywhere, no copy paste system is there. In case of online filling, we have to fill 0 0 0 0 in each and every columns. But in case of offline form, we can do the copy paste of the zero. Control C, then Control V, but that is not possible in case of the online filing of the forms. All part need to be saved every time in case of changes. Here we can do the changes. In case of online form, we can do the changes, we can save the thing. But in case of offline form, what is happening? If you are doing the changes, suppose you have filled the Excel sheet. There are 3 4 Excel sheet. You have filled the 3 Excel sheet, and in one Excel sheet you want to do the changes. In that case, you have to again fill up that Excel sheet from the beginning. Part change of the Excel sheet is not allowed in case of the offline filing of the form. Board meeting dates are getting reshuffled. Just before 2 3 days back, it is getting reshuffled. And whenever we are modifying the form, so therefore, whenever you are modifying the form, then you kindly check the thing and kindly recheck the board meeting date. Otherwise, it is being changed automatically. And we have already seen that there are aggregation orders. We are having here different date, and in annual return we are having different date. Then again, mismatch may take place. Again, the ROC may issue the so-called notices. That should not be there. No login restrictions in case of offline filing of the forms. Zero can be copy pasted in case of offline filing of the form. In case of MCA login issue, fill in the download form because MCA login is not required. In offline filing, you have to download the Excel template. Without offline, login is not required, and you have to simply fill up the Excel sheet. But initially in the beginning, in case of offline filing, initially in the beginning, there are 10 points which are common to both the forms, an online form and offline form. That 10 points has to be filled in case of offline form also. And after that, the Excel sheet will open. That will show you in the next slide. Presently speaking, this particular system offline is taking more time than the online system. In case of any change in form, 10 common points has to be filled up. I already told you in the beginning. In offline, whenever you are filling the form, the gray color mark is the read only. The blue color mark means in Excel sheet it is editable. It can be editable. Now the date which we are putting, that should be in MMDD MMYY format or DDMMYY format, whatever the format you are following. These are the prerequisites for the offline form. Pre-filled financial data are coming in the forms. If you want to make any changes, you can do the change, but it is not required that you have to give any details. No, that any regions is not required to be given in case of any data which is auto-populated in the forms. It is not mandatory required to be given. CRP liquidation, in case of CRP cases also they have to file the forms. Already their name has been inbuilt in the AOC form system, and now any CRP companies cannot say that we are not required to file or we will not file the form because our name is not there. No, but that excuse will no longer prevail. And the CRP persons, IP person, IRP persons, they are mandatory required also to file the forms. Where the company is a resolution professional, IRP or liquidator, all the person has to file the forms. Means they can do the shareholder meeting, they can finalize the balance sheet, they can submit the balance sheet. They doesn't want, that is their choice, but they are required to do the thing as per the company law. Prerequisite for the filing of the form. Actual amount has to be given. Already this amendment came in 31st March 23. We have already filed the balance sheet for 23. Then 24, same thing. Means actual figure. No 100 rupees lakhs. It is only applicable in case of XBL company. But if a company is normal company, non-XBL company, then you have to give the actual figure in the form. Board committee meeting dates are there, then that has to be given properly. Now this will happen whenever you will fill the 10 points of the offline form, then after that this sheet will open. Here you can see AOC-4 submitted. Yes, AOC-4 Excel sheet we can download here. then AOC-2 Excel sheet, then extract of the auditor report, extract of the board report. In this way, these 4 Excel sheets are there. You can download it, all the Excel sheet. Then after that, you'll submit it. Once you'll submit this Excel sheet, then here it will come that this line is blue line. Blue line means everything is okay. There is error free. And if it is a red line, then this means that there is some error. In CSR2 form, they have added new 2 columns also. In CSR2, they've added section 135 report for unspent CSR amount and not applicable. In this way, 3 things has been added. Whether the sectoral audit is applicable, in case of sectoral auditor applicable, yes, no, you have to give accordingly, and as per that also you have to attach the data. Whether sectoral audit has been qualified, not qualified, then yes, no has to be given. Next, CSR2, we are not going in details regarding the CSR2. These are some of the changes which I would like to highlight. Whenever you are signing the particular forms, any form you are signing online, then in that case, these columns will open. Data, alternate data, additional data, nominee data, whole time data. Earlier, these columns were not there. Earlier, simple director was there, and that was being accepted. Now, if the company has a managing director and that managing director reflecting in the master data, then you click the managing director, and as per that, whomsoever is signing the form, that name should be there. In case of ADT1, it is auto-populated. Auditor details, including the PAN number, are auto-populated. Whenever you are giving the ADT1 SR number, immediately everything will come auto-populated here. Z99, again, question mark is there, may be accepted, may not be accepted, but we always suggest that we should not go for Z999. Then type of industries, yes should be given. Type of industries, commercial, industrial, whatever there is specific industries, that has to be given properly. Why I am mentioning this particular slide? Because nowadays we are receiving the notice from the cost audit department, Shastri Bhavan, New Delhi, 5th floor. There they are issuing as the cost audit department notices. In many of the companies, we have received the cost audit letters. So that has to be avoided, and therefore we have to fill up this particular type of industry properly. Otherwise, regularly the companies are receiving the notices on the basis of the data you have submitted in the AOC-4 only. So that has to be clearly submitted. Now, whatever the address you are giving, the special character should not be there, like oblique should not be there. Otherwise, problems are there, and oblique is not acceptable things. Now, also we have to give the details. In case of other income, only earlier we are mentioning only other income. Now that is not the scenario. Here also you have to give the details. Like you can see, this is the PL account format of the AOC-4. There they are asking for the other income. In the other income, they are asking for the details of the other income, dividend income, interest income, and here what you will put. Suppose you are giving other income in your PL account, revenue from operation, then after that other income. But again, you have to classify the other income. What is the bifurcation of the other income? So that thing has to be given properly. If it is not given in the balance sheet, how you will give here? Again, there is violation of Schedule 3, non-compliance of Schedule 3. Then again, you will receive the notices from the MCA. And it is not only MCA, you will give the notices to the directors and to the company itself, but it will also give the notices to the auditors also. Report already discussed. These points already discussed. Now one more thing new has come. Just before few days back, labor law has been passed. Now suppose your company having an employee that is more than 20 numbers, then labor law will be automatically attracted. And along with this also you have to comply the labor laws also. Here in this particular company, 3, then 23 male, 3 female, whatever the number of person is there, that is okay. But if labor law is applicable, that compliance also you have to do. That you should keep in mind. Now the automatically the system will drag the data from there. As we know, in case of income tax department, they are dragging the data from the GST department. If you are showing different turnover in the income tax return and different turnover GST, the immediate notices are coming from the income tax. That is already known to you very well. So those things should be parity with each other. Board report, already we discussed all these points. Post compliance and maternity benefit at the time of submission of our diet report. So those things has to be taken, captured properly. Then 186, already I told you, when 186, this is the online form. Here also we have to give the data. Now going at DPT3 versus AOC, for me, DPT3, whatever data filled up. Many people are telling that DPT3 30 जून का लास्ट डेट है, कैसे हम जमा करेंगे? सर वेट करिए आप, 30 जून के बाद में 30 जुलाई 30 अगस्त फाइन देके जमा करिए. लेकिन व्हाट इज गिवन इन द रूल ऑफ द DPT3 एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ डिपॉजिट रूल, जो भी नॉन वेलेबल नॉन कंपाउंडेबल है, उसमें क्या दिया हुआ है? द डाटा रूल 16 है, the data should be duly audited by the auditors of the company. This much. The data should be duly audited by the auditor. This is rule 16A. So therefore, it should be in parity with the data. In DPT3, whatever data you are giving regarding loan advances, if you are there, you are giving loan advances 3 crore 55 lakh and no charge interest has been charged. But at the time of submission of the AOC4, you have charged the interest 3 crore 55 lakh की जगह हो गया 3 crore 85 lakh. उसमें आप इंटरेस्ट चार्ज कर दिए, TDS काट लिए, तो ऐसे नहीं चलेगा ना. डिफरेंट फिगर शुड नॉट बी देयर, बिकॉज आई वाज कॉट by one of the regulators during my III inspection. In III inspection, the regulators told me that where is the data is matching. He opened in front of me DPT3 and also AOC4. Now they told me that you match the data. So that was not being matched. So therefore, we should also ensure that everything should be done properly in compliance of the law itself. Now these details we are not going. We are straight away to very nitty-gritty things where we are having the problem. Now at the time fill up of the forms, after that uploading of the Excel sheet in the offline mode, you are having this red asterisk complete details is coming. This means that it is there are some errors in the data. Like the person who are filling the XBR form, they are very much well conversant regarding all these things, that if errors are there, that error has to be deleted. We have to go, we have to click on this particular red line, then after that errors will open, then each and every point you have to go on the Excel sheet, you have to delete that thing, correct it, then after that you have to fill. Now again problem is there in case of offline vote, whenever we are correcting the thing, then everything will become zero. The totally form will become blank in Excel sheet. So therefore it is suggestible that better to go for online mode form only. Then AOC4, here you can see in the next slide, if everything is properly filled up, then automatically blue line will convert. Then it is error free. Errors we are not going, straight away we are going to RPT, like RPT transaction not getting selected, solution try and try, or as Agnito try offline. These are just simply, we can say, a simple method which we have adopted. Now going to annual return, 2-3 things I would like to highlight. Chipuji, I will take only 5 minutes further. In case of annual return, 2-3 things you should know. Yes, sir. चिंपू जी 5 मिनट कंटिन्यू करें क्या, रोकें?
आराम से कीजिए भैया, अभी पब्लिक डिमांड कर दीजिए.
देखिए MGT-7 के अंदर 2-3 चीज ध्यान रखने का जरूरी है. AOC4 मैंने मोटा मोटी एक डिस्कस कर लिया, जितना हम कवर कर सके 1 घंटा के अंदर. मैं ट्राइड माय बेस्ट. ऑडिटर रिपोर्ट, डायरेक्टर रिपोर्ट, देन AOC4 आल्सो आई कवर्ड. एनुअल रिटर्न में 2-3 चीज ध्यान रखना है. एक बहुत सारा क्वेरी आ रहा है, मैक्सिमम क्वेरी यही आ रहा है कि पैन नंबर अवेलेबल नहीं है. हम लिस्ट ऑफ शेयर होल्डर में क्या लगाए? सर लिस्ट ऑफ शेयर होल्डर के लिए 2 तरह की अपने को लिस्ट ऑफ शेयर होल्डर में अटैचमेंट के लिए अलाउ किया गया है. एक वैलिडेशन सीट, एक विदाउट वैलिडेशन सीट. आई विल कम टू दैट. लेट मी स्टार्ट माई स्लाइड हियर. इसमें देखिए एक तो ये ऑटोमेटिकली प्री फिल हो जाएगा एज ऑन फाइनेंशियल ईयर 31 मार्च. एडिटेबल है ये. और लॉन्गिट्यूड लैटिट्यूड ऑटोमेटिकली प्री फिल्ड हो रहा है. अभी इसको एडिट नहीं करना है. एज ऑन फाइलिंग डेट नेम एड्रेस प्री फिल्ड हो रहा है. इट कैन नॉट बी एडिटेड. अपने आप फिलअप हो रहा है. और लॉन्गिट्यूड लैटिट्यूड अपने आप ऑटोमेटिकली आ रहा है. इसमें कुछ नहीं करना आप लोग को. प्रिंसिपल बिजनेस एक्टिविटी वो मैं फिर रिपीट करूंगा. यहाँ जो एक्टिविटी देंगे वही AOC4 में दीजिए. सब पैरिटी में रखिए. इसका एक कोड है ऑलरेडी, इसका लिस्ट दिया हुआ है प्रिंसिपल एक्टिविटीज का. उसमें क्लिक करेंगे तो ये एडिटी पूरा एक लिस्ट खुलेगा वहाँ पर हेल्पलाइन में जाकर के. तो वहाँ से एक लिस्ट में ले लीजिए. नाउ इंडिविजुअल फीमेल मेल कैटेगरी ट्रांसजेंडर. ऐसे नहीं कि एक जगह एक फिगर देंगे, दूसरा जगह दूसरा फिगर देंगे, नहीं. सब चीज पैरिटी में रखिए. एम्प्लॉय का एक फिगर रहेगा जो सब जगह जाएगा. जहाँ जहाँ मांगेगा वहाँ एक जगह फिगर दीजिए. शेयर होल्डर्स में भी मेल फीमेल ट्रांसजेंडर का जैसे जो फिगर मिल रहा है उस हिसाब से दीजिए. नहीं कहते एक नोट लगा दीजिए साथ के अंदर. आप बोले नोट कहाँ लगाएंगे? नोट ऑप्शनल अटैचमेंट में लगा दीजिए. जैसे इन केस ऑफ मैनी कंपनी मेरे NSDL सीडीएल में जहाँ लिस्टेड अवेलेबल था, हम लोग कुछ आपको फिगर नहीं देंगे अलग से. बाइफर्केशन नहीं करेंगे तो आप नोट लगा दीजिए कि हम लोग को फिगर नहीं मिल रहा है. लेकिन यहाँ तो कुछ डाटा तो फिगर करना ही पड़ेगा. तो जो डाटा आपका समझ आए उस हिसाब से फिलअप करिए, नहीं तो आगे नहीं बढ़ने देगा आपको. नाउ अपने को अपलोड करना है. इफ नंबर ऑफ कंपनी इज 1 और मोर, एक्सेल नीड टू बी डाउनलोडेड एंड देन फिल्ड अप एंड अपलोड. एक्सेल शीट डाउनलोड करना है, उसके बाद हम लोग फिल करना है. यदि एसोसिएट कंपनी है, ये MGT-7 का अपने डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं. यदि एक कंपनी है, एक से बेसिक कंपनी है, तो उसका एक्सेल शीट डाउनलोड होगा. उसके अंदर डिटेल फिलअप करना है, करके उसको फिलअप करके जमा करना है. एक्सेल शीट क्या होगा? ये फॉर्मेट है. अदर रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर, नेम ऑफ द कंपनी, होल्डिंग, सब्सिडरी, एसोसिएट, जॉइंट वेंचर, परसेंटेज. ये है एनुअल रिटर्न का अपने डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं. उसके अंदर में एक्सेल शीट भी फिलअप करना है इन केस ऑफ एसोसिएट, जॉइंट वेंचर कंपनी, सब्सिडरी कंपनी, जो भी है आपका. नेक्स्ट, मीटिंग डिटेल शैल बी फिल्ड अप, एक्सेल शीट एंड अपलोड. मीटिंग डिटेल भी आपको फिलअप करना है, उसमें भी एक्सेल शीट डाउनलोड करना है. उसमें डिटेल के अंदर में एक्सेल शीट में बनना है. एक्सेल शीट का क्या फॉर्मेट है नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आ रहा है. देखिए नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में एक्सेल शीट का फॉर्मेट. डेट ऑफ द मीटिंग देना है, ये ड्रॉप डाउन बॉक्स आ जाएगा DDMMYI फॉर्मेट में. नंबर ऑफ मीटिंग आ जाएगा, कितना अटेंडेंस किया नहीं किया, इसको फिर करके एक्सेल शीट को रेडी करके उसके साथ में अपलोड कर दीजिए। ये देखिए बोर्ड मीटिंग दिया हुआ, नीचे में इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया हुआ है, तो इसको देख करके फिलअप करना है। ट्रांसफर डिटेल में मैंडेटरी कर दिया, लेजर फोलियो नंबर देना पड़ेगा, तो ट्रांसफर कर दिया। अब आप बोले हमारा तो बनाया हुआ नहीं, हमारा तो कंपनी 50 साल से है। आपका 50 साल से हो चाहे 100 साल से हो, सर लेजर फोलियो नंबर मैंडेटरी है, देना ही पड़ेगा आपको। आप डालिए, बनाइए। आप बोलेंगे मेरा तो 5 शेयर होल्डर वही चल रहा है 20 साल से, सर वो ठीक है, लेकिन अभी आपको लेजर फोलियो नंबर यदि कोई ट्रांसफर ऑफ शेयर होगा तो देना ही पड़ेगा, इसी फॉर्मेट में देना पड़ेगा। उसका एक्सेल शीट फिर वही डाउनलोड होगा एक्सेल शीट को अटैच करिए वहाँ पर। अब डेजिग्नेटेड पार्ट है, ये एक नया चीज मैंडेटरी हो गया। सर मैंडेटरी अभी नहीं हुआ है, ये ऑलरेडी अमेंडमेंट आया था, याद करिए आप कब आया था, अक्टूबर 2024 के अंदर अमेंडमेंट आया था, 1 साल पहले। 24 में आया था कि 23 में आया था? 23 में आया था मेरे ख्याल से, अक्टूबर 23 में अमेंडमेंट आया था। 24 का बैलेंस शीट में हम लोग इसका नोट लगा के इसको बहुत जमा करवाए थे कि 24 का बैलेंस शीट में इसका नोट लगाइए, एनुअल रिटर्न का नोट लगाइए, कुछ है नहीं, कहीं कॉलम नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है। बहुत जन लोग फॉर्म जमा किया था, बहुत जन फॉर्म जमा करने कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं था। अभी इसको मैंडेटरी डाल दिया एनुअल रिटर्न के अंदर में। तब इसको यहाँ पर क्या करना पड़ेगा, आपका एनुअल रिटर्न में जो पॉइंट में डाला है वहाँ पर जाकर के इसको डिन पैन नंबर को फिलअप करना जरूरी है, नहीं तो ऑटोमेटिकली एक डायरेक्टर को लोग डेजिग्नेटेड पर्सन मान लेगा। ये किसके लिए? एसबीओ के लिए, सिग्निफिकेंट बेनिफिशियल ओनर। बीच के अंदर बहुत सारी चिट्ठियां भी आई थी, अपने सेमिनार भी किए थे, उसमें डिस्कशन हुआ था, एसबीओ का डिटेल भरना है, उसके लिए मतलब लाइन से भर के चिट्ठियां आई थी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कि एसबीओ का डिटेल नहीं दे रहा। अब अपने अभी भी सो गए, 2020 के बाद में 25 चल रहा, 5 साल के अंदर में असर चेंजेज हो रहा है। हर कंपनी में अलॉटमेंट ऑफ शेयर होता है, ट्रांसफर ऑफ शेयर हो रहा है, चेंजेज हो रहा है, डायरेक्टर का चेंज हो रहा है, लेकिन हमने एसबीओ जमा ही नहीं देते। सर एसबीओ जमा देना है, 30 दिन में एसबीओ जमा देना पड़ता है हमें। जिस दिन चेंज होता है उसका 30 डेज के अंदर वी आर रिक्वायर्ड टू फाइल द एसबीओ, बट वी आर नॉट डूइंग दैट थिंग। MGT8 सब में एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, जिस कंपनी में एप्लीकेबल नहीं है उसको मैंडेटरी कर दिया, MGT के साथ में जोड़ दिया, इनबिल्ट कर दिया MGT8 को, ऑटोमेटिकली उसके अंदर में जो भी पीसीएस उसको भी सही करना पड़ रहा है MGT7। उसमें कोई हाईलाइट है तो उस ऑब्जर्वेशन के वहाँ मेंशन करके उसको हाईलाइट कर दीजिए। ये फॉर्मेट है पूरा का पूरा 18 पॉइंट का MGT8 का। MGT7 के अंदर में इनबिल्ट करके उसको अंदर में घुसा दिया उसमें फॉर्मेट के अंदर में। नाउ कमिंग टू फोटोग्राफ, जो मेन थिंग्स है इसके अंदर में, सबको इसको लेके कंसर्न है। कोई बोलता है डायरेक्टर का फोटो लगाएंगे नहीं लगाएंगे, सर डायरेक्टर फोटो इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी अटैच्ड। व्हाट फोटो? बिल्डिंग के बाहर का फोटो देना है और ऑफिस के बाहर में जहाँ नाम प्लेट रखा हुआ है, नाम प्लेट आपका सेक्शन 12 क्या बोलता है, एडिटेड अफिक्स्ड। अब कई जनों ने खाली एक उठा के स्टैंडी खड़ा कर दिया, स्टैंडी से नहीं चलेगा, नेम बोल रहा है एडिटेबल, फिक्स होना चाहिए। अफिक्स पेंटेड और अफिक्स्ड बोल रहा है लैंग्वेज सेक्शन के अंदर में, पेंटेड और अफिक्स्ड, तो पेंट होना चाहिए, अफिक्स होना चाहिए। तो कागज चिपकाइए या तो अफिक्स बोर्ड में, तो कागज चिपकाइए तो फिर, या फिर बोर्ड लगाइए, बोर्ड बना करके। अब नाम हिंदी इंग्लिश में और लोकल लैंग्वेज में होना चाहिए आपका, पहला बात। दूसरा बात, सेम नंबर जरूर होना चाहिए उसके अंदर। अब जीएसटी यदि एप्लीकेबल है तो जीएसटी नंबर भी नहीं होगा तो फिर जीएसटी वाला कंप्लायंस कल को पकड़ेगा। वो लोग क्या मानता है, आज कहीं भी अपने कंपनी फॉर्म करते हैं, पेपर किसका लगाते हैं? एमसी का रिकॉर्ड लगाते हैं। आज जीएसटी नंबर भी नया अप्लाई करते लेते हैं, कहीं चेंजेस करते हैं तो किसका रिकॉर्ड लगाते हैं? एमसी का रिकॉर्ड लगाते हैं। एड्रेस ऑफ रजिस्टर ऑफिस चेंज होता है तो किसका रिकॉर्ड लगाएंगे? एमसी का लगाएंगे। और एमसी पर जितना बार 22 फाइल करने जा रहे हैं सब बार फोटो मांग रहा है। नया इनकॉर्पोरेशन कर रहे हैं उसमें फोटो मांग रहा है, 20 कमेंसमेंट ऑफ बिजनेस फाइल कर रहे हैं उसमें फोटो मांग रहा है। कहाँ नहीं फोटो मांग रहा, तो रेगुलर सब जगह फोटो मांगने लगा। पहले तो एक जगह 2 जगह फोटो मांगता था, तो हर स्टेज में हर फॉर्म के अंदर में मैक्सिमम जगह फोटो मांगना स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो 2 फोटोग्राफ देना है किसका, एक बिल्डिंग के बाहर का और जहाँ कंपनी का गेट है दरवाजे के बाहर के अंदर जहाँ नाम लगा हुआ है उसका फोटो देना है। कमिंग टू ट्रांसफर, वी हैव डिस्कस ट्रांसफर। शेयर होल्डिंग्स में प्रॉब्लम जो आ रही है सबको, इसमें सर 2 तरह की शीट है, एक वैलिडेटेड शीट है, एक विदाउट वैलिडेटेड शीट है। वैलिडेटेड शीट का ये फॉर्मेट है, इसमें पैन नंबर मैंडेटरी है, इसमें पैन नंबर देना ही पड़ेगा आपको। और एक जो विदाउट वैलिडेटेड शीट है उसके अंदर में आपको पैन नंबर देने का जरूरत नहीं है, उसमें पैन नंबर नहीं देना है। उसके अंदर में नॉर्मल आप ऐसी फॉर्म जमा करिए हो जाएगा। उसके अंदर नॉर्मल जैसे अपने पीडीएफ फाइल के अंदर में अटैच कर दिया, नाम है, एड्रेस है, नंबर ऑफ शेयर, वो भी फिलअप करके लगाएंगे तो हो जाएगा इसके अंदर में। यही फॉर्मेट में दिया हुआ था MGT7 में, डिटेल ऑफ शेयर होल्डर्स के अंदर में, तो मैं दिखा दूंगा अभी। नेक्स्ट फिर अपने चले आगे टेक्निकल चैलेंजेज टिप्स के अंदर में ADT1 है, ADT1 अपने को जमा करना है। दिस इज द बेसिक क्राइटेरिया, किस में अपॉइंट करना है नहीं करना है वो वी आर नॉट गोइंग इन दैट डिटेल्स, वी आर सिंपली कमिंग टू द मेन पॉइंट्स कि ADT1 के अंदर में क्या नया ऐड किया है। ADT1 के सर इतने सारे फॉर्म ऐड कर दिया, फर्स्ट ऑडिटर, अपॉइंटमेंट ऑडिटर। अब मैं जो नई कंपनी बनाया था 13 जनवरी 25 को, उसमें मेरे को ADT1 फर्स्ट ऑडिटर का फाइल करना पड़ा, तो हैव टू पे द फाइन, 6,800 रुपये मेरे को पेमेंट करना पड़ा। तो देयरफॉर फर्स्ट ऑडिटर में भी आप इमीडिएटली जाइए ADT1 फाइल करिए। पहले नहीं था, पहले था कि फर्स्ट ऑडिटर में ADT1 इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू फाइल, दैट वाज नॉट बीइंग फाइल, बट नाउ वी हैव टू फाइल द ADT1 also in case of the first auditor। बाकी सब में अपॉइंटमेंट, रीअपॉइंटमेंट सब में फाइल करना पड़ता है। नाउ सेकंड वन न्यू प्रॉब्लम इज कमिंग इन केस ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल फर्म, इंडिविजुअल स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर। आपको पैन नंबर लेके चलना है उसमें, और इंडिविजुअल सेलेक्ट करना, फर्म नहीं सेलेक्ट करते हैं। आपका फर्म है, प्रोप्राइटर फर्म है, ठीक है, लेकिन फर्म नहीं सेलेक्ट करेंगे। फर्म करते हैं, वो बोलेगा फर्म का पैन नंबर दीजिए, सिस्टम मांग रहा है, तो उस केस में एडिटिव फाइल करने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। तो बेटर टू गो फॉर giving the individual category, and after that you can give your PAN number, both the case, and you can go ahead. ये डिटेल भरना पड़ेगा यदि आपका टेन्योर है of previous appointment of the appointing auditor, then you have to give the details, and हर फाइनेंशियल ईयर का अलग अलग टेबल खुलेगा, मैनुअली इसको भरना पड़ेगा। ऑडिट कमेटी का नया पॉइंट एक ऐड हो गया, उसके हिसाब से ऑडिट कमेटी एप्लीकेबल है नहीं एप्लीकेबल, यू हैव टू फिल अप दोस थिंग्स अकॉर्डिंगली। देन MGT-14 wherever the listed company is there, in that case MGT-14 is applicable, otherwise it is not applicable in all the cases. Then time, वो भी MGT-15 में आता है। Now some of the tips I would like to suggest कि सर मैंडेटरी साइनिंग करना, अपने को डिजिटल साइन करना, चेयरमैन KMP। In case of MGT-15, raise ticket. Now coming to main signature part, which we all professionals are doing, there we should be very much cautious regarding these slides. It is professionals who is certifying. We all are professionals, we are certifying the form. It is our responsibility. The attached document should be completely and legible in all the respect. Otherwise what is happening, we are creating the problems for ourselves only. This is the again next, this rule 8 sub rule 9 of this company registration and office rules. Here it is given false misleading information if given by us as a professional, we are certifying that thing, then we are also liable under section 448 49. Then 8 subsection 10, that these rules, what do it say, wrong or misleading information, omission of material fact, attachment by a person, DSC shall be deactivated by the central government. So these are the things which have come already 11 years back, but still those are in the systems. Those are not implemented by the RD, ROC. It can be implemented, depend again on when the central government do direct them, then only it come. This is my submission. We are not going another 447, 448. Now some of the suggestions only for the forms. Whatever the forms we are certifying, we should pre-certified by the CS cost accountant. What you should do for present filing of the forms within 12 days, these things you should keep in mind. Take your time, explanation to be attached, confirmation to be calculated, time management, scale of fees you should see, staff company login shall be created, proper drafting of director report, board report, financial statement should be there in compliance of schedule 3, delayed filing better than wrong filing should be there, should be the main concept should be in your mind. Correct matching of the data with the financial should be there. You should develop a maker checker system so that correct data should be there, because otherwise whatever the figure you have filled up and the figure are different from the final session, that should not be there. Word Excel file shall match with the signed document. Improvement of downloading forms, corrupt zip file to be removed from the system. Now thanks to everybody. Yes sir.
Yeah. So Chimpu just informed that due to some issues, is not able to connect. So it was a very enlightening session wherein we got to know about the technicalities on the filings and the new areas like new filing types or the offline and the online. So we really thank you, sir, for your precious time, taking out the precious time and making us enlightening us on the very relevant topic, annual filing under the MCA practical approach. With this, I thanks the audience also who took out time, and I hope they have learned on the from this session and will have a implement the suggestions and the tips that were given by the learned speaker.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for your.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.